Hello. This is a peer discussion on our first group, I guess, demonstration speech. My name's Alexis DeBro, and we're going to go ahead and uh, give some. Can we restart?
No, it's live.
Okay. We're going to give some constructive criticism on Alexis Darty's video. So I'll go ahead and start. Alexis, you did a very great job with having your supplies and your steps handy. One thing that I noticed was there was some, I guess, idle time, like when you were waiting for the coffee to be brewed.
Mhm.
I don't know if we could have did some editing, maybe to like minimize that idle time. The way you were speaking was engaging and clear. So I think you did a very great job at just drawing in the audience.
One thing that I noticed was when you were like making your coffee, I feel like it would have been better to like zoom into exactly like the coffee maker to see like exactly what you were doing. Because when you were waiting for the coffee to be done, you were just like standing there and we were like, oh, is she making the coffee already? Is it done yet? Like we weren't really sure exactly what was going on. But you still did a good job to like telling us, oh, the coffee is done or like the coffee is ready to be made. So that was really good.
I would agree with you guys in saying that in the time that she was brewing the coffee, she could have added a little more speech. So like you could have been like, "Oh, so this is a great way to energize yourself in the morning, and the ice cubes add that extra flavor so that it doesn't water down," or any kind of speech added in that like moment that it was just silent would have been better for the video. But I really thought you did a good job in like speaking clearly and taking us through each and every step.
Cool. Was there anything else that you guys had for me?
No, you did very well with being clear and precise.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you were pretty good. I liked how it all came out, and I think like when you made the coffee ice cubes, I think that was really cool because I feel like no one usually does that, or like no one knew how to do that, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I found that on Pinterest.
Hack to
Yeah.
coffee. Great.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about Alexis DeBrill's video. So Diana, or you want to go first?
Yeah. So for hers, what I liked was like she sounded so professional at the beginning, and like the camera was right in her face. But I feel like once her video did start, it was more towards like her body or like just awkward angles. So I feel like just making sure the camera is getting like your full face at least, or like it's just pointing to exactly what you're making. But it still was pretty good because we were still able to like hear exactly what you were saying.
So for Alexis's video, the only thing that I did notice was that in some parts it would just cut off. Like when she was talking, it would cut off like her face, so we couldn't always see her when she was talking. But I like that she had everything ready, so there wasn't any time where she was going to get something, so everything was already in her little setup. So she had everything there, and she spoke very clearly as well. So I like that.
Yeah, for me, I saw that there was the awkward camera positions. So, I mean, it's hard to do that when you're alone and you have like a computer that you're using. Because I had like kind of an awkward thing too with my video. But at the end, you were able to see you, and I was like, oh, good. Like, I can see. And then the one time at the end, you like stepped away for a second and your face wasn't facing the camera. So it was hard to hear that little part at the very end. But I liked how you had like you had good descriptive details on how to cut your fruit and how you do. So when you talked about the pineapple, you showed us with the knife. You said, I'm going to cut the head off. Sometimes I shave the pineapple. Sometimes I just scoop it out. So that was a good descriptive detail that I liked. So now we're going to talk about Diana's video. So Elizabeth or Alexis, you can go first.
Yeah, so so within this video, the first thing that I noticed was that the voice the tone of your voice was a little bit light, just a little bit. I don't know. It kind of would have been a little bit more captivating if your voice was a little bit more maybe projected or louder, just to be more captivating to the audience. I noticed there was some moments where I would have liked for you to put a little bit more detail in what you were showing us. So you would say, well, it's supposed to, or the mix is supposed to look like this. When I was looking for like, well, what consistency would you like the mix to be? Should it be, watery or a little bit medium or thick or chunky? That was all that I noticed. Everything else was the camera angles were perfect. So that was great.
I would have to agree with the camera angles. I really liked how whenever it would move on to something different, like we would get different angles of what she was doing, so we could see everything pretty clearly. But there were some things that were a little hard to see, like when she was mixing and like telling us what the mixture should kind of look like. It was a little hard to see like into the bowl to see what the consistency of that would look like. And I liked how the lighting like helped her video too, because everything was like really clear.
Yeah, I liked how you had really good lighting. Your angles were really good. Your diction was good. There were a couple times where I couldn't fully understand some of the words, but overall you did pretty well on your diction. And the camera, like I said, was good. Just when you, again, with the consistency of like showing the bowl, when you were adding the chocolate chips, it would have been a lot easier to see, like that's what you want our, like the dough to look like before adding the chocolate chips in. So I think we all agreed that that was a step that you could definitely add and fix for the future.
Yeah, that's so helpful because I didn't even think about like showing like the whole texture. Like I was like, okay, like they'll probably just know already how it looks. So that's really good. So thank you.
Yeah, that's the funny thing when you make stuff. It's like, oh, you just think that everybody knows, and we're like, wait, we don't know.
Yeah.
And now the final person that we're going to talk about is Elizabeth and her video on making a smoothie.
Yeah, so in Elizabeth's video, I noticed the kind of same thing that I noticed in Diana's video. Your tone, I don't know. It was just like it could have been more captivating if your tone was a little bit more projected and precise. I definitely could understand what you were saying. Just the I think volume and the conviction of how you say things definitely goes a long way with speaking and getting your point across or trying to get people to understand something. So that's the only thing that I definitely noticed that could have just used a little bit more work.
Okay.
What I noticed was like there was just a part at the beginning where your dog came in at one point. I thought it was so cute, but I feel like it didn't even like mess you up. So like I would have been distracted if my dog just came in, or I would have been like, oh no, like go away. But like you kind of just like went along with the video and you didn't like let that mess you up. But one thing that I did like about your video was how you included not just bananas, like you included your yogurt. Like I never thought about putting yogurt in a smoothie. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one too. So yeah, with the distraction of the dog, I was like, oh, there's a dog. Oh, and then I was like, oh wait, I'm watching a video on how to make a smoothie. So yeah, that one part, we probably could have edited it a little, but I mean, that was good. And then, yeah, you're a little quiet, like you're very soft-spoken, and I noticed that in class. So just start projecting a little bit. That way you can be heard a little better and everybody can understand what all you're saying, and that's all I have. So
yeah. Those are like some good points. Like I've always had like a really low and like soft voice, so I think probably in like presenting that was one of my biggest issues, but I can definitely try to improve on that. And then I did have issues with like just what was around me during the video, like the dog, or like I had a part where the phone went off, so I just try to keep going. But yeah, I could definitely.
That was good that you kept your focus.
You did well with that. I didn't notice a phone going off.
I didn't either. I just
yeah, me neither. So that was really good. And back to like you, like your tone of voice, I would think like maybe try going a little forward into your face, or like the person who was recording like has gone like a little just closer to you, just so we can hear you a bit better. Because that's what I did too sometimes. I just made the person record me come a little closer to me just so they can hear me better.
Right.
All right, well, that's the end of our panel speech for our demonstrations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.